On one afternoon, we finally arrive in Ellendale. Oh my god, look at Ellendale. Jesus Christ. So much green. So many green tops. I like that. That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty dope. That actually looks pretty freaking cool for design. Although there's still a present chill in the air, the sun's bright rays warm us up as a glint of the impressive buildings. People here are well dressed and pay no attention to us, as we're used to seeing those from our town. As we venture further into town, we notice lots of people are heading towards the center of the square and into a large structure. What do you guys think the building's over there? Amy glances at where I point and brightens up.
That is exactly where we need to be headed.
She speeds up, looking pleased. Seems like everyone else needs to be there too.
Is there an event going on? What exactly is in there?
Didn't Amy said that we need to go to this town for a library of some sort? But Amy is already out of our earshot. Pick up the pace to keep up. When we enter, I'm blown away by the sheer magnitude of this place. Yep, library. The main door opens in a hallway which splits off into adjacent wings. One wing is labeled library. There's a conservatory and a cultural center too. The conservatory does not allow visitors, but the cultural center seems to be hosting some sort of exhibition, and that is where the crowd of people are filtering into. Liana breathes on wonder as she takes in the hall. Kara cranes her neck to get a better look in the library, while Zach watches the crowd. Amy turns towards us.
The library in Ellendale is renowned for its collection of rare tomes. It is the largest library in Havengard. Since we are already aware of the Wind Temple in this vicinity, I hope that by cross-referencing the books in the library with the notes from Elder Ism, I will be able to narrow down the exact location.
Liana nods.
Good idea. Do you need any help?
Amy shakes her head.
I am confident that I will discover the information we need sooner, rather than later.
Kara grins.
You don't have to tell me twice. I've got some business of my own I'd like to take care of while we're here.
Zach narrows his eyes.
What kind of business?
Kara smiles sweetly.
I had no idea you took such an interest in me.
This girl's... she... You know what? I'm gonna let her just do a thing. Just, I don't know, just for her type of character, for that kind of writing, I don't know, it just flows so well. It flows so well. I don't know. It feels natural. I like that. He crosses his arms.
I just want to make sure you aren't getting into trouble.
That doesn't sound like me.
Sure
Alright,
not.
Why don't we all take some time to relax and explore Ellendale, and meet back up here afterwards?
Everyone agrees and goes through the separate ways. To my surprise, Kara follows Amy to the library. Zach and Liana both move towards the exhibition and seem surprised by each other's choice. Take a closer look at the exhibition and see two signs. Guess the reason there are so many people there is because there are exhibitions going on at once. One is illusions of the mind, and the other is about the heroes of Essaria. Liana and Zach both walk towards the exhibition of illusions. So we can go hang out with people. But I wonder if it'll let me take a break. No, it won't. I'll go with Liana and Zach. Yeah, we'll go with that. Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Thamriyell. Welcome back to Crystalline. We're continuing over in a new city. We're currently right now chilling in the library. I forgot the name of the city, but it looked very... I want to say... ivory and teal. Like the entire city just like had almost like ivory type of white walls and then teal rooftops. I think it's supposed to be some sort of mage city. I think I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with names. But if you bring up an image, I'm like, oh, I know that place. That's where we're at right now. Anyway, we're currently gonna be hanging out in the library. Illusions of the mind sound like it can be interesting. Some of them are really clever. Enter the exhibit and catch up with Liana and Zach. Oh yeah, we chose to go catch up with Liana and Zach, didn't we? I remember that now. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we'll come back and gonna see if we can hang out with Liana and Zach first. Hey guys. Zach nods.
Hey! I didn't know you liked illusions of the mind.
They can be fun. Liana smiles and nods. The room is filled with different paintings and sculptures. People mill around each piece, squinting in concentration and quietly discussing. We decided to start at one end of the room and work our way down. The first piece is one I'm very familiar with. It's a 2D painting of colored spirals. Liana gasps.
It looks like it's moving.
Zach nods in agreement. Move on to the next one. It's a drawing of an elephant, but something seems off. Both Liana and Zack squint at it. It's missing a leg.
Yeah.
Zack leans closer.
Wait, no it isn't.
Liana counts.
Only 4 legs, but there looks like there should be more.
This is confusing. We murmur in agreement as we move on. As we study the next image, a face turns bright red. Is that a naked woman?
Dancing figures.
Liana nods. Really? That's what you see? 2 of them give me a strange glance.
Yes? What are you seeing?
You're gonna pretend to see what they're seeing, yeah. Yeah, also dancing figures. Yeah, that's 2 is what I see. They shoot me one last confused glance before shrugging it off and moving on. I hope they actually eventually add these kind of images, because I kind of want to see, I don't know, these kind of visual illusions are kind of neat to look at. So we can get a better idea of what we're looking at. Past a few more images, and both Zack and Liana are in agreement with what they see in each one. I spotted the old man, or the woman image, and they saw the swan in a rabbit or swan image. Every time I did agree, they grin at each other, and sometimes I'd even share a glance as if they were in a secret no one else knew. It's a bit uncanny how in sync they are with each other right now. Never seen them get along as well before, or Zack smile so much at once. As we pause in the next illusion, a man panders the image thoughtfully. He wears a black robe with gold stripes, and a mess of blonde hair sits atop his head. His blue eyes squint intently at the image as he ponders the illusion.
All of these images hold so much meaning. They're the epitome of understanding that not everything is as it seems. If you change your perspective, you're told a completely different story.
Granted, this character has a name, I'm guessing they're gonna be important later down the line.
I see these images and I wonder what it is the artist is trying to share. Which story is theirs? The one that I see first, or the one I understand after further study? This piece has been especially interesting.
It turns to us.
Tell me, what do you see in this picture?
Liana and Zack share a knowing looking grin.
It's obvious.
Yep,
They answer simultaneously.
faces.
Vases.
2 of them freeze, their eyes wide in shock.
You meant to say faces, right?
No, they're clearly vases.
No, they're faces.
Unless faces look like vases to you, you're very wrong.
Okay, that's when they just don't go in sync anymore. Liana shakes her head.
How could you have been so right about all the others and so wrong about this one?
Actually, in that last illusion, I didn't see a swan. I saw a rabbit!
Oh, betrayal. Oh, betrayal. Wow. Can't believe they haven't actually, like... they haven't a spat over illusions. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is silly, but it's also kind of funny as well.
I trusted you!
I thought that was the only time. But I see now that you've been wrong this whole time.
You're the one who's wrong.
No, there's no need to...
Liana and Zack glare at him.
Not now!
Liana suddenly rests her gaze at me.
What do you see?
Happy waifu, happy laifu, I see faces. Sisters before misters, I see faces. Bros before hoes, I see faces. Okay, what kind of answers are these? What kind of responses? Not even answers, but what kind of responses are these? 2 of them clearly go in Liana's favor. 1 of them goes into Zack's favor. But the 2 in Liana's favor, it's either sisters before misters, I see faces, or happy waifu, happy laifu, I see faces. I don't know which one it is. I kind of want to go with the top one. It seems really... should we? I guess I can go for a safe bet with the middle one. Oh god, I wish I could save. Can I save? It won't let me save. The game will not let me save. Okay. Happy waifu, happy laifu? I see faces too. Liana grins smugly.
Ha!
Zack shakes his head.
You 2 are perfect for each other. You have equally bad taste.
Liana and I react at the same time. Perfect for each other?
Bad taste?
She looks at me. I mean, bad taste?
Wait, what did you say?
I saw faces. Okay, that was great. That was good. Her smug grin returns as she spins back to Zack.
That's right. See? They're faces.
Zack sighs.
You're free to believe what you want, even if it's wrong.
She ignores his last comment, content with her win. The philosopher chimes in before the two of them can continue bickering.
Have you considered the possibility that you're both right?
Leanna and Zack stop arguing and look at him.
This illusion tells two independent stories, intertwined in a single piece of art. The precision, the illusion, wrapped in perfect symmetry.
Have you ever seen like illusion art before? Just like, I don't know, maybe online, or maybe you've gone to a museum at some point, or just like, I don't know, if you ever seen that kind of stuff. Typically, artists just put it in there just because they can. At least like if you ever, I mean, I can't say I'm a specialist in it, but I did have to go to a lot of field trips in high school and middle school, and we went to a lot of most boring places ever. So, what do you do when you go to the most boring place ever? You try to learn so that your mind doesn't want to just like corrode from boredom. Because as much as I appreciate field trips back in the day, like in high school and middle school, I went to the most boring places ever. In order to make sure I don't die of boredom, you learn just to keep yourself busy. A lot of times artists just kind of do it because they can. They on purpose hide like double or triple meanings and something, so they just have thing they like. I don't know.
To understand another perspective instead of being rigid in one's own perception, that is the true intention.
Leanna and Zack nod slowly, as if fully understanding and taking in what he said. Calm and pensive, they face each other again.
I guess it's possible that they're vases.
I'm glad your eyes are finally working.
What? You jerk! You're supposed to say you see faces!
Why would I agree with something wrong?
The arguments resume, and I sigh deeply. Not this again. My gaze wanders the room as I glance wistfully at all the other illusions, wishing we could move on. Hey guys, let's move on. They don't hear me. Guys? Again, the two of them are too wrapped up in the argument to hear me. Seems like this is gonna take a while. I guess I'll finish the exhibit on my own and check back with them later. Unnoticed, I slip away from the group and finish up the tour. Alright, see what we can do here. View the exhibit of the Heroes of Asaria. We could do that. I think... Wait, I would think that maybe... whatever, let's go to see Heroes of Asaria and see what's going on there. A view of the exhibit of Heroes of Asaria. Early access version. Exhibition will be available in future builds. Oh! Oh, okay, so that's gonna be available in the future. Okay, let's see what Kara's up to. Let's see what Kara's up to. Kara said she should be, she's gonna take care of some business. In library? I wonder what she's up to. Head into the library and find her among the shelves. Hey, Kara. She smiles.
Hey there.
I also kind of hope, maybe not, but maybe possibly wishful thinking, they add a little bit of more art to kind of help differentiate between whether it's an exhibition or the library. While the static images are whatever, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It would be nice in the future, maybe. I guess it's still early access, so we'll see. Checking out the selection?
You could say that. I'm wondering if I have something that might interest them.
She pulls out the faded tome she found in the Earth Temple.
If this library is as extensive as Amy says, maybe they're looking to expand their collection.
Couldn't hurt to ask. Browse the books along with the shelves. Looks like they got all other old books here too. She pulls out a book and inspects the cover. The grins as she pulls it back.
They've got Aria's texts.
Who are they?
The ancient civilization here. They're the people who would have built the Wind Temple. If they've got Aria's tomes, then they're sure to be interested in what I've got.
Kara confidently approaches the librarian.
Perhaps you could assist me.
Librarian glares down his nose at Kara and sniffs disdainfully.
Perhaps.
Ignoring his haughtiness, Kara pulls out a book and places it in front of him.
Would you be interested in a Gaian text?
He leans closer to inspect it.
Where did you acquire this?
From one of the ruins. Unlike most of texts found, this one is very atypical. It's actually a children's book.
Surprise slips through his demeanor.
A children's book?
Kara carefully flips through the pages to show off the illustrations.
Yes, and you can tell it's Gaian based on the calligraphy.
She points to two different places on the page.
The Gaian's language didn't use punctuation, while the other ancient civilizations, such as the Uri, did. And the parchment itself is out of an animal hide, which is typical of Gaian culture.
Kara continues to spout more and more facts. The more she talks, the more impressed the librarian seems. At the end of his speech, his frown is replaced with an interested grin. He further inspects the book and then nods in satisfaction.
Fascinating. And you're hoping to donate it to our library?
Well, donate for a small fee.
I knew it.
Ah, of course.
He lists a number which Kara pleasantly counters. They go back and forth for a while before the librarian finally nods. The two of them disappear for a few minutes before Kara returns with a small pouch. She grins as she safely tucks away her pouch. How'd it go?
Not bad. I was hoping I could get a little more, but I still ended up with more than the initial offer. That's a win in my book.
Can't help but be a little impressed. It must have shown on my face as Carol looks at me questioningly.
What is it?
Preston knows so much history, thought you used a bot to convince him. No. Some good haggling? It is kind of, I mean, I guess if you're gonna be selling things, you might as well understand what you're selling. But that's actually pretty impressive nevertheless. Nothing really. You just really know really know your stuff. Heard you explain to the librarian how to tell the book was Gaian? I think it's Gaian.
All in a day's work. It's important to do your research in my line of business. Don't want to be ripped off.
See?
Why don't we go check out the shops?
Sure. It'd be nice to see more of the city. Kara and I leave the building and wander the cobbled streets until we come up upon the marketplace. See? There we go. There we go. That's the image that I was talking about. Just like white. I want to say either ivory or alabaster. Is alabaster a shade of white? I have no idea. I don't know my colors clearly. And the quartz rooftops? No, quartz would be more of a material rather than a color. Quartz colored teal. Teal. We'll just go with teal. Green and teal. Browse a few of the store's fronts. Kara mostly ignores the clothing shops and seems more interested in stores selling trinkets and antiques. While Kara peers through the window shop, I overhear a father and son talking in front of a sweet shop. The boy claps happily as his father hands him candy. His dad grins equally as wide.
I'm proud of you, son. Remember to keep up your studies. Maybe one day you can grow up to be a mage.
Thanks, Dad.
I recall my father's face and how he looked when I brought home my first A. He looked just as proud and happy as a man with his son. He took me out for ice cream as a reward, told me to keep my grades up. What does he do now? Does he even know that I'm missing? Hand waves in front of my face.
Hello? Are you still there?
Kara looks concerned. Yeah? Sorry, what's going on?
You okay there?
I mean, I guess we can be a little bit honest. We've been on adventures with her. We can tell her, hey, yeah, we kind of feel a little homesick. Just a little. Sorry, I saw the father and son over there and just reminded me of my home. My dad used to buy me ice cream as a reward for doing well in school when I was young. Kara's expression softens.
You never really talk about home. Sometimes it's hard to remember that everything is so up in the air for you. One minute you were living life as usual, and then in an instant all of that was ripped away and your life turned completely upside down.
Kara's voice increases as she talks. She doesn't know exactly how I feel. She don't talk about this anymore, sound like she speaks from experience. Does she miss home? By any chance? We don't really know much about her. I don't think you dealt with something similar. Kara looks surprised and laughs bitterly.
Nothing quite as extreme as being transported to another world.
But something did happen? She goes quiet. Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. It's just unexpected since you're always so confident. I get the impression you like traveling alone. It's hard to imagine you being unable to handle yourself. Kara smiles softly.
I wasn't always like that. When I was young, I lived with my father in a big town. I went to school and gossiped with my friends and played with dolls just like every other little girl.
Can't imagine you playing with dolls. She laughs.
I love them. It's a bit embarrassing how many I had. My friends always liked to come to my house because I had all the popular dolls back in the day.
So she was... It kind of feels like she's coming off like she was raised in a high-class house. Or high-tier... High society, I guess you could say? Yeah? You realize I can't keep this information to myself, right?
Little girls like dolls. I'm not ashamed.
She starts to sound a little more like herself again.
Anyway, sometimes things happen out of your control, and all you can do is roll with the punches. I'm sorry that you've been feeling alone, and that it's taken me so long to notice.
No one thinks to everyone? Yeah. I mean, I guess we are traveling people alone, so it's not a big deal. I don't feel so alone after talking to you. Kara grins mischievously.
You should save lines like that for Leanna.
That's not what I meant. We aren't exclusive. Is that how Liana feels? I guess we could say that. Yeah, that's not how I went. What? No, I didn't mean like that. Kara laughs.
I know, but your reaction was worth it.
She glances down the road.
Let's keep going.
A nod. Well then. Although I don't think anything kind of romantic is going to develop between them. Maybe it does. I don't know. See, the developers did say that the point for this visual novel is to make it so that conversations and interactions between characters stay as, I guess, organic as possible. So characters will actually even like quote back to previous things you've said or previous things you've done before, or the way you've approached certain situations beforehand, to make it a little bit more organic. And that's the point of them. I believe there is just one romance option, but maybe they'll add another. For now, as far as I understand, there's only one romance option. Walk around for a while longer to explore the city. But I do appreciate the organic style of, I guess, scripting they've done. We eventually return to the library and exhibition hall and part ways. I'm ready to call it a day. Suns begin to dip in the sky. I better go check on Amy and see if she's made any progress. After entering the library, I spot Amelia at a secluded table surrounded by a mountain of books. She doesn't hear me approach. Hey, Amy.
Hello.
She doesn't look up from her textbook. Did you make any progress? Finally, she looks up at me.
Yes, I did.
She gestures to the book around her.
All of these texts include the data on the 100 floating isles. I have spent the afternoon gathering and analyzing all of that information.
Wait, did you say floating isles? Amy blinks.
Yes.
As in, the hovering in the air?
Yes.
You don't seem surprised by this.
Of course not. The islands float due to the magical dispersion in the area. This is a natural phenomena which has been around since the time of the ancients.
Do people live in these islands?
No. Most islands are far too small for colonization, and those which are large enough to hold a small population are not suited for civilization. But because they have been mostly untouched, the Isles are still one of the most beautiful natural wonders of Assyria.
Okay, but if no one lives on the Isles, then why are you studying them?
It is highly likely that the Wind Temple was built upon one of those isles. Based on my hypothesis, the temple would be built on the site of the highest concentration of energy.
No? Amy nods and begins to explain her scribbled notes. The rest of the group slowly trickles in. Zack and Liana arrive first, and a short while later, Kara follows.
If my calculations are correct, the temple should be located in this region.
She opens one of the books to a map and points to a cluster of islands. And that's great, but we still have a problem. The islands are floating. How are we supposed to get up there?
Wind magic would solve that predicament.
True. Everyone focuses on Liana.
That's true. While I can use wind magic to jump from isle to isle, it's impossible for me to manipulate enough energy to be able to float everyone. I could float myself and perhaps assist one other person.
Obviously, that second person would be him.
Zack gestures to me. Makes sense. I'm the only person who can absorb the energy.
What about the rest of us?
Don't worry, Kara. I'll bring you back some souvenirs from the temple. Kara laughs.
I appreciate that, but we should still be close by. The least we can do is keep watch.
We can set up at the edge of the first isle and wait for their return.
Kara nods.
That sounds good to me.
There is still some distance for us to travel to reach the Isles. We can cross that distance as a group and split up from there.
Yes, but tomorrow. It's already growing dark, so we should rest tonight.
Let's go find an inn then.
Once in agreement, we help Amy clean up and then return to the streets. Now the sun has set, the cold seeps through my clothes and chills my skin. A shiver crawls down my spine. Liana blows on her hands.
The change in temperature is really apparent without the sun.
Amy glances at Liana.
If you are cold, perhaps we should inquire whether the Flushed Mermaid has any rooms. Their rooms are more luxurious than the inns we may be used to, but there is a fireplace in each room. I do believe they provide heat stones we may request to sleep in our beds, should the blankets be insufficient. Plus, their hot springs are open for guest usage.
Hot springs, huh? Okay. Kara perks up.
Did you just say hot springs?
She did. You know what I'm thinking? They did have a I think a Kickstarter funding goal for a hot spring scene. Hey, whatever gets them the funding, right? Oh god, we gotta get a hot spring scene.
Yes, that is a...
You had me at Hot Springs. Let's go there.
She begins to push Amy in a random direction.
This is the incorrect way. The inn is towards the west.
Oops. To the west.
Kara hurries Amy towards the west as the rest of us follow along. Our group checks into the Flush Mermaid. The first thing we do is make a reservation for the hot springs. Fortunately, the availabilities for the men's and women's hot springs are at the same time. After we complete our reservation, we receive our keys to the room and go upstairs to get ready. Amy was right when she said the Flush Mermaid had nice rooms. They're a lot more elegant and grand than any of the other we've stayed in. Seem to be pretty the same for now. Pretty sure just like placement art. Zack and I enter the room, and my eyes are drawn to the pale wooden dresser, guarded with clamshells and pearls. 2 couches set before a flickering ivory fireplace. The mantel is streaked with silver waves, with a mermaid carved at the center. Dang, why don't we ever stay in rooms like this?
They're expensive.
True. We'll find robes and towels in the closet. Once Zack and I are ready, we'll go downstairs and make our way to the men's side of the hot springs.